People who ended up with their first crush, what's your story? Comments. Trying to sum up a truly long story. First grade, love at first sight. For me, not her. She moved schools in 7th grade. I was devastated. Thought I'd never see her again, but it was a small city and I was not a smart boy. Mutual friends and interests saw us become good friends in high school. Good enough for her to bring me to her prom, but not enough to have a romantic date. Through college and after, we'd keep in touch and hang out during holidays back home, but life went on until my second college stint. Dating another woman, I was hit with the need to tell her how I felt. Not to get together with her, but just to get it off my chest. She knew I liked her, but not to what extent. She was having a bad time at school doing her doctorate in geology. For obvious reasons, my relationship with the other woman failed. Damn, this is getting long. That January, we got together to watch movies. I was nervous to tell her, so I kept pouring her wine. Turns out, she was nervous to tell me she had been having feelings for me for a year, so she kept drinking the wine. Her dad, laying on the floor watching the movies with views, was oblivious to everything. We're finally alone. She says something. I blurt out, "Wait, are you hitting on me?" And we spent our first night as a couple with me holding her hair while she puked. Married in 2006, now have 2 amazing kids, and she doesn't drink as much. Or I would like the long version. UK-based story. School trip to Longleat. A pretty blonde girl on the back seat of the coach caught my eye, but I was shy when I was 14. It was okay though, I'd caught her eye and her friend told me to sit next to her. We dated on and off through school. I always had a crush on her. Then she wasn't there anymore. I now know that her dad had got a job in Hong Kong. The plan was for her to do ovals, and she'd been accepted into the RAF and the England hockey summer camp, so she had things lined up. But her mum decided at Christmas that she wanted to be in Hong Kong too, and by New Year 1985 I had emigrated with her plans and exams ruined. When I was 17 I got a job at the local supermarket for spending money. I was behind the cheese counter. I saw her come in. I was mortified, in my white coat and plastic trilby, so I hid in the fridge. I assumed she was back in town, but I didn't see her again. I thought about her often, spoke about her to my best mate wondering where she'd gone. I went on to my normal life, had kids etc. She went on to an extreme life, stole money to run away from Hong Kong to England, with just a teddy bear, no money to get from Heathrow to Liverpool because someone stitched her up bouncing a check. The CEO of British Caledonian had seen her on the airplane and was walking past when he realized she was in trouble. She was eye-catchingly beautiful. He got a driver to take her to Liverpool. She went to art college, but a friend died of drugs and felt she might go the same way, and then lived a life of homelessness, suffered much violence, suicide attempts etc., and a full-on drug-fueled party lifestyle, although also some great highs. She counted pop stars and artists as friends, ate at top restaurants, and stayed in top hotels. When I was 40, it's 2008 now, freshly divorced, very broke, ex was a solicitor, and in a bad way mentally. Her name popped up on Facebook. We met up. She helped me, I gave her stability. We moved in together, and have been married for 8 years, and are very very happy. I often wonder what would have happened if I hadn't hid in the fridge. I dwell on it sometimes. She has largely got over the worst parts of her early life and had quit drugs in 2000, so I didn't see the party girl. But her scars remain, and that saddens me when I think about it. Damn, this sounds like it could be a novel. I honestly believed it was going to be a shit post, and he was going to be Forrest Gump. We met in band when I was 10 years old, and I was immediately both terrified of and obsessed with her, and couldn't quite identify why. Over the course of middle school, the fear kind of faded. I definitely had a crush, but was fairly confident she'd never see me that way, and I decided I would just try to be her friend. I definitely made a fool of myself in front of her a few times, but I tried to stay subtle about having a thing for her. At the end of 8th grade, she mentioned offhand that she was interested in someone, and I pestered her about who it was until she finally told me that it was me. Once the complete and utter shock wore off, I asked if I could hold her hand. That was 10 years ago, and I plan on asking her to marry me later this year. Why is this so wholesome? Because not everything in the world is fucked up, fortunately. We met in high school because our two friend groups kinda merged into one friend group. Started dating about halfway through college. Got married a year after graduation. Still happily married 29 years later. In 2nd grade, I didn't know anything about anything. This one girl came up to me and asked me, "Do you like, insert my best friend's name here," so as I thought like meant like as a friend, I said yes. Later that day he came up to me online and said, "You like me?" Still thinking that it was like as a friend, I said of course. Why wouldn't I? He said, "Oh well, I like you too. Wanna be my girlfriend?" I thought girlfriend meant a friend that's a girl. I said yes. I was finally told the correct meaning to everything in 3rd grade. Same thing happened to someone I know, but they were way older. It was the funniest shit when they found they were actually dating. We met in middle school. Became really good friends. Dated for a week as you can date in middle school. We broke up and dated a few other people. 2 weeks into high school I told him to come keep me warm at the high school football game. He's been doing it now for 30 years. 3 kids together now. Love every day with him. Holy crap, you been in that football game for how long? We met in 5th grade. We always sort of had a crush on each other, constantly looking over then looking back, playing at recess. Once we went to junior high, we went to 2 different schools. I thought about her for a couple years, then saw her on Snapchat. Texted her, and we've been together for 2 years. What a heartwarming story. Fat poop butt 6969. Met at Army Cadets, UK. I was 14, he was 16, 3 children, and 22 years later we are still together and very much in love. Lots of ups and downs, but always there for each other. I kinda thought you meant he had 3 children at 16, but I reread it and saw the comma.